doing a tier list of ranking every single Premier League season, and we've got a tier list made here, and my beautiful editing, this will be on screen for you lot. Ooh. And we've got 5 categories. We've got unreal, good, average, poor and dreadful, and we're going to be putting in alphabetical order all of the clubs into a different category, and we're going to have to debate and agree on one for each club. And this might be a long episode. I'm hoping we can somehow agree, but I can already feel tension, so I don't think that's going to happen. Because knowing as well, we were just discussing Arsenal. That's the first club, and I feel like the resident Arsenal fan has got to take the floor first. Where do you pitch where you think Arsenal should be on this leaderboard?
There's only one place Arsenal season can be, and it's good. Anything else is just wrong.
Can we put a star next to it of dreadful 2 weeks?
That's true.
Well, of a star was at the end of a season.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
What do you? I feel like. Does anyone want to pitch in with that, or do you agree that Arsenal have had
No, I'd agree with that. I think he's in reality he's massively overachieved with that squad, isn't he, Arteta?
Yeah.
I want to play devil's advocate, but really, it's a good season.
Yeah.
For have no European football to pay. They're now 5th. Nearly got Champions League, to be fair. Yes, you spent the money, but that's a good investment money as well.
Yeah.
It's on young players who's only going to get better.
And really, being out of Europe before now, getting back into Europe in the Europa League is probably a good segue to getting towards the Champions League. Get you back playing 2 times a week.
As good as Champions League would have been with this squad, they're still so young.
It was early, wasn't it?
You can tell that by the last few results. They're still learning on the job. To go into the Champions League and say you get put in a group with a Real, a Bayern, someone huge,
You get turned over, wouldn't you?
I don't think they're ready, and I think the Europa League can be a nice learning curve, especially for those younger squad players. We've seen Saka play in the Europa League and perform in there very well. I'm sure Smith Rowe will do the same, Martinelli likewise. But it's the people like Lokonga, Tomiyasu, Ben White, Tavares, even those people.
And Ramsdale.
To get that experience in the Europa League will help them going forward.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The Champions League probably would have been a step too far.
Yeah. My only worry though, with Arsenal playing in the Europa League, it's the Thursday night games.
Yes.
Your squad is so thin as it is. Really, you've seen 1 or 2 injuries and you're screwed. Yeah. And I do worry for Arsenal in that sense of Thursday night football, Sunday. It's the same starting 11 every week, really, isn't it? There's not very many changes.
There will be additions. There'll be, I'd say, probably 2 starting calibre and then probably another 2 squadish players.
What positions are those 2 starters?
The striker
It's
is...
got to be a striker.
100%.
Everyone knows we're going to bring a striker in.
Well, you've got no strikers anyway, have you?
Exactly. I think it'll either be a centre mid or another defender. It depends what happens with Saliba.
Yeah.
It's up. Nobody knows. He's just won Young Player of the Year in France, and qualified for the Champions League with Marseille.
And he's in the French squad now, isn't he? As well?
He is.
Is he?
But we're not going to loan him out again. If Marseille want to buy him, they're going to have to stump up more than 30 million, which I don't think they've got, because we paid 28 for him, and he's just won Young Player of the Year in France. He's going to be worth 35 upwards.
That's mad, isn't it? You bought him 3 years ago, didn't you? For 28
He hasn't played a game.
He doesn't play a game for you. just mental.
There's something really off with that situation though, because every time he's gone out on loan, all the reports suggesting he's done really well, and you'd think if he's done so well out there, he'd even be integrated into the squad. There's
something not quite right.
There's something not quite right.
The loans have clearly been beneficial to him. That's why it's just a bit odd, but we'll wait and see, because nobody knows at this point.
Yeah.
So if he goes, I expect another defender to come in, because you can't just rely on White and Gabriel.
Yeah,
Holding.
as good as they are.
I think we need another creative presence in midfield that's deeper lying, because at the moment it's just Ødegaard and Saka.
Yeah.
If you've got Partey and Xhaka in midfield, there's not a lot of breaking the lines, passing.
If you could upgrade Xhaka,
Yeah.
for instance, and have Partey as your out-and-out holding midfielder, someone who can ping a ball 60 yards.
You just need someone who can break that line with that little slip pass in behind into the person who's dropped off. Because that doesn't happen enough.
I still think Arsenal are screaming out for somebody like Yuri Tielemans, and I know you've said you're not sure with that.
That's a good shout.
I think
he'd be a good player
because he's creative.
Yeah.
He's exactly what you need.
I think he's a top player.
He's box to box and he can do the dirty work. I'm obsessed with that guy.
Because he's linked with leaving Leicester this summer, isn't he? 'Cause he's turned down new contracts.
He's got a year left.
So yeah, he's been linked to quite a lot to Arsenal as well since. So
we're testing there.
Yeah, I'd like
40 mil, I reckon.
wouldn't it? Yeah,
40 mil. I don't think that's too bad in today's market.
For a year left though. that's still a bit steep.
Oh, yeah, when you put it like that. Well, again, we'll have to wait and see. But I think we've all agreed there. Unanimous decision.
Unanimous, yeah.
I didn't expect that. It's a really nice start.
It's a good start.
The next one won't be unanimous.
Joe, obviously, Joe, you being the resident Villa fan, where would you want to put Villa in? And we'll see if we all agree, because I think this is going to be really fun.
Oh God, I'm bracing for it. I think I'll go poor.
Okay.
I'll go poor. Only because we finished 11th last year. Yes, our best player left for a ton of money, and we thought we replaced him with very good players. Buendia, Ings, Bailey, who's probably just on the treatment table somewhere still. But we've really dropped off. Been so inconsistent. Even with Gerrard, I think the jury's still out on him until he gets his pre-season in. And yeah, finishing 14th, just really deflating, really.
Who wants to take the floor with this then?
Yeah, I agree. Poor. Even struggling before Gerrard, but then there's never just been any drive with them.
We've never kicked on.
No,
we had
never
3
kicked
big
on
results
at any point, and it's just been mediocrity all the way through,
Yeah.
and below par for the first half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we've never strung together a string of results. We had 3 wins with Gerrard when he came in. He basically saved us the bounce. And then from there, Burnley last week, we were awful. We don't move the ball quick enough. It's
That
just
was a really
lacklustre and we need something like a get up and go.
Signings have been poor as well, and I think the recruitment. I don't think they were good signings.
No,
it's easy to say now, but
I think they've been awful. I think
Yeah.
maybe Dini's done okay.
Dean's been very
That's
good.
about it.
Dean's been
He's
very
spent a
good.
lot of money for a lot of rubbish.
I like Digne, but
can't
you'll hate this. He's just a slightly better target.
No, he's not.
Target's very good
moved
going
on.
forward.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Target's done well at Newcastle.
Target doesn't fancy it to go and
It's
get
not a
stuff.
massive upgrade.
But you say that Luca Digne's come in, you've got rid of Target, and Newcastle have finished above you.
And Matt Target was
Solely responsible.
solely responsible.
They love him. They absolutely love him.
No,
He's been really good.
They are very similar players. Good going forward. Great delivery into the box. Very shaky defensively. I just don't think it's that much of an upgrade.
Well, he's not streets ahead. I think he's certainly a better footballer than Target. And
I honestly,
it's a step in the right direction. It's an improvement.
I think they're on par. I don't see that. I don't think you've improved whatsoever with Luca
There's
Digne
a
in your
clip of
team.
you somewhere saying that he was the signing of the season in
Yeah,
January.
I agree. I think he's the sign of the season because when you got rid of Target, I thought you were screwed. Because who else had you got? That's why I think he's a great player. I love Luca Digne, but I actually really like Matt Target. I've watched a lot of him at Newcastle.
Yeah.
I didn't get it before, but since I watched him at Newcastle, I think he's been really good.
I think he was stale at Villa was the issue. I think he's coming. His
But the
time
whole
was really
team
done.
is-
Yeah, the
was
whole
stale
team.
at the start of the
exactly. We
But
were.
also, I still don't know what Villa's best team is.
No.
Does everyone know what Villa's best team, best formation is?
No.
Well, that's half your issue. Right
Exactly,
there.
yeah. We're so hot and cold, and so hit and
There's
miss.
players there that last year you thought they're really good, and this year there's just nothing. McGinn, I think he's been very, very average. Watkins has probably been your brightest spark, which exactly.
And yeah, and put him in front of goal, and he's got 3 chances out of 10 of scoring.
Exactly.
I think,
He could have had a hat trick against.
so. Oh,
City.
the one yesterday when
Yeah.
he threw on goal. But that sums him up, taking 3 or 4 touches to set himself. You can't do that in the Premier League.
I think a lot of the players have actually regressed and got worse at Villa. Like even your signings, Liam Bailey was actually quite a hot property in the summer.
But he hasn't
And now
really
he's-
played, to be
But
honest.
when he has, he's been terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best 20 minutes of football against Everton that I've ever seen in my life.
That's a 90-minute game.
Apart from
It's
that.
a 90-minute game. So what do you expect?
Exactly. That was unbelievable. But other than that, no, I'd agree.
So that was Bailey.
Yeah.
Bailey wins a 20-minute trophy. Then
He
in the
does, he wins a
season.
20-minute trophy.
Well done, Bailey.
It was unbelievable. Big boy Leon.
No, I have to admit, I was in the poor / dreadful. I was like, whatever, as long as we said one of the two.
Yeah, no.
So I'm glad we're unanimous, but I have to admit,
Poor.
I think we'll agree with Paul.
We'll
But
agree with Paul.
I've been obviously West Brom aside, I've actually been really disappointed with the Villa. I just thought I was excited when Gerrard came in. I was a bit apprehensive. I said I didn't really get it as an appointment, and I've got that. And I said I didn't understand why he left Rangers, to be honest, because he's got something going really well at Rangers, and I just feel like he's just been thrown in the deep end, and he's not swimming at the moment.
Yeah,
he's
but
really struggling.
he talks well. It's only so long talking keeps you in a job, doesn't he?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But we've got that Boubacar Kamara coming today. We're in talks with Tarkowski, obviously challenging with Everton.
Boubacar Kamara's a world beater, isn't
Yeah.
he? He's world class.
Honestly, the amount this lad's watched him is ridiculous. He's been studying him for years.
He loves
I've
French
got a clue
football.
he is.
Loves French football.
But he's was 22 years old and he's on a free, so who knows?
And if he's like any of the Villa signings, he's going to be absolutely
Yeah,
brilliant.
bloody super.
Apart from Callum Chambers.
Shouts to Callum
shouts.
Chambers,
Yeah,
who is
yeah.
actually our best centre half at the minute.
That
It's
says
not hard.
something though, doesn't it? Really?
It's not hard though, is it?
I've been impressed with him. I think he's very good.
Yeah, he's always done well with like sides that are like pushing on like relegation sides. Hasn't he? I can't believe I'm talking this loud, considering I'm a West Brom fan. That's why I love these kind of videos, because we're just not involved anymore. We just chat absolute
I'll
rubbish
bite my
about
tongue.
everyone.
Our time will come.
But no, I think Villa have had a poor season. To be honest, I think everyone would be disappointed, and I just think everything about it has just gone wrong.
Sub question: if Gerrard stayed at Rangers, would Rangers have made the final in Europa League?
No.
No,
They lost their two opening games, didn't they?
Yeah,
I think they were the two games that he was in charge for.
So really, you've done them a favour by taking Gerrard out and getting a better
Probably.
manager.
Yeah.
and
I will see.
And Rangers in a lot of games, and I've watched a lot of them. They did kind of ride their luck in quite a few of those
Yeah,
fixtures. Things kind of fell their way. Tavernier being the top goal scorer in the Europa League,
I know.
he's just absolutely mental.
Five
Like,
penalties,
back.
whatever it
yeah,
was.
I just couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Brilliant. I'm all for it.
Oh, he's a good player. He's a good player. You're linked with him
He
again
is.
as well.
Yeah. But in Stevie we trust. I love you, Stevie.
Just you. Okay, now on to Burnley. Now, who wants to take the floor with this? Actually, as a resident Burnley fan,
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I've been talking about my second team. They've been my main team. I've probably watched more of them than West Brom this season. That's actually really sad. But Burnley, I think it's got to be dreadful.
Has to be.
Absolutely,
They've
that's
got
not
relegated. They've been there for a really long time. Even though you're looking at the squad, really, as much as I've tried to talk a big game for them, and I've tried to fight their corner, I think along with Burnley, VAR and officiating should be in dreadful as well. But I think we've all we don't really. There isn't really
They've
much we can
scored
talk about.
probably about 15 goals all year.
Yeah,
Because I didn't realise as well, Dwight McNeil hasn't scored at all this season.
Has he not?
And he's the brightest winger they've got.
Good.
If he hasn't scored at all, then that, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah,
I
there's-
like him. I think he's a good player. I still think he'd
He's
do a good job
alright.
at a better club.
I don't know.
He's all right.
Or is he just has he been made to look good by putting a half and average cross into the box and someone's nodded
Exactly.
in?
Chris Wood's attacked
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Is he actually that? He can run with the ball a bit and beat a man, but I'm yet to see anything
Yeah.
Special.
to really step
Yeah,
up
yeah.
to a next level.
Yeah, I think Burnley going down could have massive repercussions for them now. You've got Tarkowski leaving, Ben Mee leaving on free transfers. They haven't got a permanent manager in. I saw today that they took out a loan against the club to complete the
I was
score.
about to say this.
Yeah, the change of ownership and stuff. Like, Christ, they could be in
Yeah.
free fall, couldn't they?
Because the loan was against the club.
Yeah.
As like the guarantee almost. And I've seen 50 mil was the loan. And they've got to
so,
pay,
yeah.
pay a big portion of it back as they've been
It's
relegated.
going to kill them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
It's
who can you attract there now, really?
For 3 people.
Well, they haven't attracted anyone
Anyway,
when they were in the
No,
Prem,
exactly.
so let
Yeah.
alone when they're going to be falling down the championship.
the only one they've
or-
signed was Cornet, and I'm still convinced he just got lost and just found himself at Burnley.
Yeah, someone's lied. His agent's pulled the blinkers over his eyes, hasn't he?
I said earlier, he thought it was on loan.
He's like, you go to Manchester.
Burnley's just outside of London, mate.
Yeah.
So, trust me.
Yeah.
But no, okay, I think it's got to be so. We're all in agreement then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Burnley have had a dreadful season. Then I think we're all in agreement. Okay, then Brighton. Whoever wants to take the floor with this one, I think
Good.
good. What
Gotta say
was
good.
that?
They've overachieved. in what
I'd say
they
at
should
least good.
do. Yeah.
I
You could
personally-
push Unreal. You
I-
actually
Their
could.
best Premier League finish ever.
Highest
I'd say
points.
unreal.
I
I'm
think-
going straight in with unreal. Personally, I think the job.
Sam's come full circle on Brighton after my slander.
No, I don't
got.
think he's the top. I don't think he's the top 5 managers in the league. But I think for Brighton, they've unreal job.
Yeah. It's
what
a
they've
very,
done
very
with
good
their
season.
resources to finish above Wolves, above Villa,
Yeah.
above Palace,
Yeah.
pushing European places.
They've done really well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well done, Graham Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah, top job.
Absolutely.
So I think where does everyone want him then? Where do want him? Sorry, not.
I'm
Graham.
going to say unreal. Why not?
Oh,
But when you put it like that, though, they've made a top half of the season finish. I sent
it's
you
their
that
be-
thing on
if-
Twitter.
It's their best
Villa-
ever points and highest finish.
sold. Unreal.
Yeah, like I said to you,
There we go.
Great negotiation.
Yeah. Done.
I really wish I hadn't. I forgot to mention about that thing I sent you on Twitter
What?
about the Villa. not spent in the last. I'll read you this stat then. So Villa,
I love a stat anyway. So
Villa in the last decade have been the 9th highest net spenders in the world.
in the world,
Yes.
Europe.
Okay, sorry. Okay,
Oh, yeah,
technically
It's
in the world.
in the world, and they are still yet to make in that time the top half of the table.
Yeah, it's
And
bad reading.
the
Yeah.
clubs that have in that time, West Brom,
How many times did you finish top 10?
more than you.
Bournemouth have made it. There's
Yeah.
Fulham have been in
Burnley.
there.
Swansea as well, maybe.
God.
Burnley, Swansea, Leeds, Sheffield United.
Brighton.
All of these clubs. That's why Villa actually definitely are cemented in poor. And I'm surprised I didn't really fight for them to be in dreadful. But
It's locked in now, Sam. We've
yeah,
gone
it's
to
locked,
Patrick.
no, we've locked in. We've agreed. So the next one, Thomas Frank's men, Brentford. I personally would be joining in with Brighton with an unreal
Has to
season.
I was going
Yeah.
to say real, absolutely real.
Yeah.
Has to be.
What a season they've had.
I really am surprised with how well they've done personally. Watching them last season, the way they've improved, even those few little players that they've added to the
Yeah,
squad,
yeah.
they've changed the whole way,
Yeah.
the style of football. That was one thing. They were really free flowing in the Championship, and they absolutely battered us quite often. One of our bogey sides, and then they've been a lot more direct this season. And you don't see often a manager actually changing the style. Like we talk about Marco Bielsa, never change. That's why I do have, as much as I say it to grit my teeth, I've got a lot of respect for Thomas Frank.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's not arrogant, he's not naive. He looks at the squad and he's changed it.
He
It's
go.
worked.
He knows what he's doing. For,
Yeah.
for every game, he goes with
Yeah.
a job, and they go to execute it. And the rewards of.
Yeah, they've stayed up comfortably.
And I think signing Ericsson was an unbelievable decision.
Yeah, brilliant.
A great deal for them, and it has taken them to another level again.
Yeah.
They were going through a really bad patch before they signed him. I think they lost 7 in a row, something ridiculous like that. Signed Ericsson. God, the levels of every player has just
Yeah.
stepped up.
The interesting thing now for them will be who they bring in, who can they attract, what sort of money they're going to spend.
Will Ericsson stay?
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to
He's not gonna
say,
stay.
as good of a season they've had, I still really worry for them next year.
Oh yeah, it reeks of second season
It
syndrome.
does.
Yeah.
You look at Leeds and what's
Smokes me.
happened with them, how they've scraped out of it, and you look at Brentford's squad. If Ericsson goes, I think
They're never going to play like him again,
Oh yeah,
are they?
no.
all I think it reminds me of, and it reeks of this Brentford situation. Sheffield United all over again.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does,
yeah.
And with the direct football, they are going to get found out. They will have to change the system up eventually, because just hitting Ivan Toney and then Mbermo running off, or Mbermo, however you say his name, running off him, eventually it's going to get found out.
You got worked out by now.
Well, there you go, lads. I've cracked it for you anyway, so if you want to take notes.
But yeah, let them enjoy their unreal season
Yeah,
so
yeah.
far, and you'll worry about that in
Probably
in
the best.
summer.
That's probably their best achievement this season. Actually, getting into our category of unreal. Like, fair play to them. This one's an interesting one now. Next, we've got Chelsea. Where would anyone like to whack Chelsea?
I'll go poor.
I was going to say poor.
That's a
I
poor
was actually
season.
going to say average.
No silverware. They've-
2 finals.
They lost them both.
Yeah.
They've
On penalties.
They've nearly thrown away
Doesn't
third.
Yeah.
They've nearly thrown away third. Arsenal and Spurs until Monday night against Newcastle could have both.
Yeah,
But as much as we say they could have and they should have,
Yeah,
they
could have, would have,
haven't.
should have, absolutely.
Yeah.
but this is Chelsea off the back of winning the Champions League. They're
Yeah.
expected to go and challenge. They've never been close to
They've
the title
spent
race.
100 million quid on Lukaku.
They've spent, yeah, exactly. They've brought
I
in.
can't believe that. That signing is just.
So
It's a poor season.
it is poor.
Yeah, to be honest, I
Nothing.
was just arguing for argument's sake. I had them in poor before anyway. That was it. In my notes, I'd put Chelsea in poor. It's just it's just really off, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they won the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
That is a bit of silver.
And it's been,
And
off the
that's-
pitch hasn't helped them, has it, of course, but in terms of
And
the
there's-
footballing season.
You've got to look at the circumstances with the club. It's been in turmoil at some stages, and they're still not being a takeover dealt with now.
No, it's still a
exactly.
bit up in the air
Yeah.
because about this new.
It's all a bit.
Well, the end of May was the deadline, wasn't it? So,
Yeah.
They submitted new
The,
offers.
the
and
initial sale has been
Yeah.
stopped because there was no guarantees about it going to charity, which
Yeah.
is what he promised.
then also the new offer, they don't actually know if they got the money or not.
It's a
They've offered
very.
£4.25 billion.
It's a hell of a
I
lot
don't
of
know if
money,
they've
yeah.
got cash.
Yeah.
yeah, who's got that sort of cash in a bank account?
Well, this podcast is going
Without
places.
going.
But no, yeah. I think it's a really difficult one, isn't it? As Chelsea, it's hard to pinpoint
But then
what's
at the
kind
same
of gone
time,
wrong.
at the start of the season, did you think that would be better than Liverpool and Man City?
I thought they'd be up there. I thought they'd be challenging.
They should be closer than they were.
But you still think third?
Yeah, but not as far off as they
So
should have been.
that's why I think it's average. I look at the place, it's third.
True. Unless you've got 80 points rather than 60 odd that they've got, like it's not overwhelming, is it?
As much as I argue about them finishing third and the points difference, they are the fact that was it 5 points off Arsenal. Like, no disrespect to Arsenal, that's a dreadful season for Chelsea.
Yeah.
When you compare the squads,
How on earth? And the cash spent then, when you look at it that way, then it looks really poor.
And Tottenham at one point under Nuno, they were the place that, and the fact that they've caught up as well. Not with you, sorry, with Chelsea.
Yeah,
is ridiculous. I hadn't even thought of it like that.
Yeah,
so I'm going to go down to poor. Yeah.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. I think that should be the new phrase at the end of each one. Lock it in.
Lock that one in.
Lock it in, BHS. It's like a game show, isn't it?
Yeah.
I need to put like a sound effect when it locks in. Like, I'll cut that sound and I'll use that one.
Nice one.
Next one, Crystal Palace. I think
it's got to be good.
This is good.
Good.
It's got to be good.
I'd go good. Not quite.
It's not.
Unreal.
They got top half. You could argue unreal, but still a bottom half.
It's a very, very good season.
Yeah.
I mean, they were Bucky's favourite to go down, weren't they? And
I predicted 20th and my. Yes, I predicted 20th for Palace at the start of the season.
20th.
Do you know where
below Norwich?
Do you want to know my bottom three?
Go on.
You're going to laugh at this.
Wolves.
No, it was Palace
Newcastle.
20th, 19th Brentford, 18th Watford. I thought Norwich were going to stay up.
Oh, wow.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I don't know ball. Oh, change the podcast name.
Norwich
Sam.
can't play ball either, so...
Cack
Oh,
team.
here
Cack
we
team.
go. But so we all going for good then?
Good.
Surely.
Yeah.
Good,
It's
yeah.
gotta be good.
Top job, Patrick, yeah. Top job.
It's released Wilfred Zaha to be a better player as well, by having better players around him. He's not the sole attacking player
His
now.
best goal scoring season ever.
There you go.
Yeah, and he's improved players, Patrick, has he? Like, Gay looks very, very good.
Yeah.
Anderson, who
Top
got relegated
player.
with Fulham, suddenly looks very good.
I think
Elise,
last year, right?
exactly. He's brought them all up to another level.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why they can't go and kick on with Eze now fully fit and people
Elise
like that.
has been so good this year as well. For
Great. That that three
Yeah.
is brilliant. If they can get like a proper striker,
Like
like
Benteke,
Edouard and Mateta,
isn't it?
and they're not going to set the world on fire,
I
are
like
they?
Mateta.
Mateta's
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's not an out and out goal scorer.
No.
But he works hard. He gives you something to play off.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen of Edouard, he's still a bit inexperienced and raw, but there's a bit about him as well. He's a bit of talent there.
But he's not the goal scorer. It's the two wingers either side of him, are the
Yeah.
goal scorers. So he's just
I
a
guess so,
good
yeah.
play.
If he can bring the best out of those three behind him,
Yeah.
then fair play. But those three, just at Villa Park the other week, they're brilliant to watch. Eze especially, just glides, he's brilliant.
I think you fancy Eze.
I do, I like him a lot.
You love him. He's a good player though.
He can buy me a pint. at some
Crucial
point.
to our opinions on the pod. Great hair.
Great.
Oh,
hair.
yeah, great
Top
Great
hair.
hair.
Top hair.
To be honest, a lot of the Palace side though, like a lot of them have got great hair.
Good hair.
That front three, I think, is all three of them great hair. I like Elise hair as well. But I don't know how we.
I think you should put that under the bucket.
Yeah, unreal. That should be an unreal just for the trims. But we're going good then.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
So.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. I was going to just put it over the top. You don't have to keep doing it every time. You can if you
I
want.
can do the hand movement as well.
I
I can do the hand movement as well.
You've got to do it.
Okay then. Everton.
There's only one
There
player.
is absolutely one
Dreadful.
through the floor.
Is there no argument though?
No,
they didn't have
there's none.
No, just
No, there isn't. No, there isn't.
The fact that they ended up staying up turns it into a poor season because
No.
it,
I think, Sam, if you said to them at the start of the season, you'll be celebrating staying
I
up
am
with a pitch
only-
invasion on the last day of the season.
Dreadful.
That
Horrendous.
awful. For a club like Everton,
Yeah.
How big they are with the new stand they won as well. They're
For
building
their
currently.
standard. Yeah, and the
the money
players
being
they've got.
spent. Jesus Christ.
they should
they're
never have been in that
awful
position.
team.
Never should have been in that position.
that's what happens when you appoint a manager like Frank Lampard though.
Or Benitez. Oh,
The fraud.
I said at the start of the season, it's smacked of McLeish coming to us from the Blues. Why would it work?
It was just
Yeah.
a terrible,
Yeah.
terrible decision from the off. Like,
Oh.
I don't think
everybody
anyone
knew.
said that's a good.
No.
Some sporting director has got
Just
the whole
Liverpool
board to go,
fans.
you know what, that's a really good idea, that is.
But that's what all their transfers have been like that.
Yeah.
The club is just run so backwards. It is just bizarre. It's
need to-
embarrassing.
They
to
always
be
sign
honest.
players who are, the reserves or the bench players of a team that's been signed from.
Yeah.
Dele Alli,
Iwobi.
Van der Beek. Iwobi's a great example.
El Ghazi hasn't
Yeah.
even played for him.
Dele Alli was such a strange one because obviously he's come on this loan deal, but then there's is it an option or
No, it's not a loan.
term?
They're signed him for free.
No, it's a loan.
It's a loan to then sign for a free.
No, it's
But then it rises to 40 mil potentially.
God.
But I think it's based on appearances. So the final game of the season against us, that's his first start.
Was it?
It's his first start.
God dear.
All of his other appearances were off the bench.
He's
So
had
what
one-
was the
He's had
point?
one good game
Just
as well,
daft.
hasn't
It
he?
was daft.
He's had a couple of minutes of good football. He's awful.
Just sums them up as a club. As you said, they're backwards. They need a refresh from top to bottom.
Yeah.
They signed El Ghazi. How's that
Yeah.
mentioned? I completely forgot about that.
That's El Golsey to you.
El Ghazi, sorry. To be fair, the way he used to play against us. Oh, I call him El Ghazi. No, I agree. They've had a dreadful season. I think Frank Lampard has not done a good job there. They stayed up. I think not only because of results that they have done. I think the other teams like Leeds and Burnley.
Yeah, they were
did
lucky
help
they were
them
so
on their
bad.
way.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I don't think there's ever been a season where there's been this many awful teams.
Yeah.
Because the points tally that some of them.
The difference in the quality between the top and the bottom is the biggest gap there's
It's
been for
huge.
years.
Yeah.
From ninth downwards, the rest of the league's been awful, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been different, like separate leagues. Wait, hang on. Take it back. I forgot we've been down to 10th. Been 8th for so long. Just completely forgot.
I've got that. That's a clip right there. That is.
You can cut that.
But okay, yeah, I think we'll lock that one in.
Lock it in, Si.
Lock it in. Okay then, Leeds. Now I think this one's a really interesting one. It depends how you look at it. Because at points you could have said they were having a dreadful season, but at the end of the day they stayed in the league.
I think
It's still poor. It's still poor.
They've had big injuries as well.
But
Like
is it
Phillips
poor?
and
If you look at their squad,
Yeah.
I think their squad is atrocious. The Leeds man for man is what the fact Jack Cooper is playing in Liam Cooper, sorry, is playing
Yeah,
in
he's
the Premier League.
and was
skipper.
Forshaw as well. That's a good
Forshaw's
point.
playing.
I would say
Forshaw's awful.
average because second season syndrome, and they've stayed in the league. So they've
They
done.
spent
They've
some
done.
big money though as well.
not
Have
on.
they?
30 mil Dan James, 30 mil Rodrigo. Lorento's about 80.
Rodrigo was last season.
Yeah, but even so, like some big money
but
being spent
you-
for Leeds, and they're still down the bottom.
Yeah, 'cause
Stayed
the
up.
squad they've got. a
They've
few
done
good-
what they.
So you think their objective before the start of the season was just to stay up?
Absolutely.
Not solidify
If your
the
second season,
table or
it's your
anything.
second season in the Premier League. Your only goal is to stay in the league.
It was a
I think
force.
it's
For me, I'd go average for Leeds.
I'd
'cause
say
I
average.
could
think
probably argue
they've done their job.
It's poor.
It doesn't, but they've stayed in the league.
Yeah, no Bamford, no
I
Phillips.
think they wanted better than.
Yeah,
they wanted
that's a
mid-table.
good
They
point.
wanted mid-table start of the
But
season.
they didn't have Bamford or Phillips for the majority of the season.
Well,
They're two best players.
they also shouldn't run them ragged in training. Then should they?
yeah.
But they, when you think of it as a whole like that, though, when you take those two players out,
Oh yeah, they are like the
average
linchpins.
chance.
they've, had
Yeah,
and they've got like Gelhardt or whatever you
I've
say.
been quite impressed with him.
But-
What he did against Brighton was lovely.
Yeah,
by the
he's a
way.
good player,
Yeah.
but to put all the pressure on
Oh
him,
yeah, he's a kid, isn't he?
Yeah,
no, I'd go average personally. I'm just
Average
gonna,
for me.
Yeah, let's go
an
average.
average season.
go average.
They've done the job. Leeds have stayed in the league, and if there's any Leeds fans out there that believe that they should,
Especially
have
from
been,
where they were as well.
Yeah.
Under Bielsa, because it looked bleak.
yeah, and if there's any
Yeah.
Leeds fans
and
out there,
they've
that
done
think-
what they needed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they think that they could have got top 10, I think that's absolutely ludicrous. They've done the job. They've stayed in the
See, I
league.
think Leeds fans wanted that start of the
But
season. I really
it's
do.
Leeds fans.
But it's the
like,
yeah.
history. We were once great. Well, that's great, but you're not now. So just stay in the league and build in the future. I think average is fair.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. That was a good one then. We didn't even have to encourage that one. Okay then. I just want to say now for the rest of them, this is a Premier League tier list. So
Fine.
the argument now of throwing in other trophies.
It's gone.
Can I just say I'm really impressed with how straight all of these are lining up.
I know. I really
That's
like.
really
It's
satisfying.
quite-
That
I know.
is.
Even though the way it is at the moment, if Liverpool went in the average, it would just really be symmetrical. But obviously, they're not. They haven't had an average season, have they? Really?
No.
Where would you guys like to put Liverpool? This is a Premier League list as
See,
well.
this is actually quite difficult, you know, because they obviously going for the title. They've not achieved the title.
Oh, but they've got 90 points.
Doesn't matter.
They've played every single game of football they possibly could so far this season.
Don't care.
Liverpool.
They lost Salah for a month, lost Mane for a
Well,
month.
cry me a river.
I think they've had an unreal season
I do as
domestically.
well.
I think it's
think
it's
it'd be
nice
good.
to watch.
With a
but
lesser
they've not won the
squad
title.
than
Yeah.
Man City.
But they've not won the title.
How good
They wanted
Matip's
the
been, and
title.
I couldn't stand Matip. I still can't, but he's brilliant. Fabinho's been brilliant. Thiago's been brilliant. They've just got another level.
But
But they haven't won the title?
The grand scheme
Well,
thing. You look at
Okay,
it.
couldn't do much
neither
more,
of,
could they?
neither of Brighton, neither of Brentford.
But that wasn't their target.
relative to the club. They've had a great. Whereas you look at Liverpool, they would have set out to won. I think they've had an unreal season. By the way, I'm just putting it out there. The fact that they've still finished second, but they are the best losers. What they were trying to do is win the
100%.
league, and they haven't won the league.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
I think the margins of that
I know, I'm just
fine.
trying to-
See, I sort of agree with that argument. I think they've been great this season. To get me
They have,
wrong,
yeah.
Don't get me wrong, they've been so good to
To
watch.
challenge City
But
is amazing
that's-
because they are
yeah.
arguably this is the greatest squad
Yeah.
in Premier League history.
Yes.
Arguably,
Well,
4 and 5 seasons.
Yeah.
well, it is.
I think
And
United
oh,
did
yeah.
8 and 11, didn't they?
Did
That
they?
was the United era when they were in their prime. And 4 and 5, I think they
Yeah.
will take over the United's run.
I'm not having as well a lot of Liverpool fans saying this is one of the best teams that's ever played in the Premier League for the Liverpool side. I was like, yeah, but for one title, people are going to forget about you, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd agree with that.
You can't keep saying one of the best sides ever in the Premier League when you've won one
And
title.
everyone- yeah. I'd agree with
You
that.
can't.
Well, you can still be one of the best teams, but
But you can't back it up though.
They won't be over. You won't remember them over Mourinho's Chelsea,
No.
Fergie's
You
You
United,
don't remember runners up,
but then
Pep Cities.
they also got more points than all of those teams.
but you don't remember runners up.
No, you
Exactly, they
don't.
come second.
I'm not saying you
No,
do.
no, so we're saying they will live. This Liverpool side, in the grand scheme of things, will be forgotten.
Yeah.
They won't.
They won't. They won't.
Of course they
Because
won't.
they're doing stuff outside of the Premier League. If they weren't winning the Champions League and things like that, then. But in this Premier League
And then win
tier
the
list-
Premier
Liverpool's
League, right?
first league title in 30 years. They're not going to be forgotten, are they?
just big bold statements. Just hoping for one Liverpool fan just to
Yeah.
bite. That'll be a clip. That will.
It'll be a nice little, nice little bite. That.
Nice little bite. I'll tell you now. That's a big piece of bait to put out. If that went out, I don't want to put that out on my name because it's a lot of bait. But I think we're all agreeing they're unreal, really.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think you can be unreal when they've not won the
it
title.
is.
I think we're 3-1 outvoted here, so
I'm sorry,
I
Si.
just don't agree with whatever. Okay.
The fact that they've even competed with City because really they shouldn't be.
I think they should be though.
I don't know. I don't.
I've seen 3 pairs of eyes all rolled over then.
Liverpool locked in to unreal. That's really dramatic. I didn't like the way I did that.
To unreal.
I didn't really like the way I did that. Okay, then next club. Where are we ranking Leicester City's season as a whole in the Premier League?
Average.
I'd go average.
That
just
was a
about
big
saved
silence. Then I was
They've-
waiting for
no,
a response
so
from somebody.
It was
They've just
poor.
finished where they were
Where
finished.
did
normally.
they finish? 11th?
8th.
No, they've gone 8th.
Oh,
in the end.
eighth.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was
Average.
it was poor. They've saved it. I think.
Yeah,
I was
they've
gonna
had
say
a good
poor, but-
last third to the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
when Vardy and Barnes started
Yeah.
playing together, and Madison,
Madison's been very good.
4 goals
Yeah.
in 4 games.
Yeah.
First time he scored in 4 back-to-back
yeah,
games.
they're just where you think they would be.
Yeah. Average.
Yeah, it's not a club you can. I really struggle to get excited about Leicester.
No, I'm bored of Leicester.
Yeah.
It's because I don't like Brendan Rodgers. I think he's
Same.
completely overrated as a manager
They'll be 8th for the next 8 years.
because they've got
probably.
a good
Yeah.
squad.
Yeah.
They've got some
really.
top players. They've got some really good
Yeah.
players. But
They're
also
never
some,
gonna push on.
some players you just think, how are you still playing for Leicester? Like Mendy, how is he still there?
Amati.
Yeah,
Amati
exactly.
So that's another one that can go to the Championship. How Amati is a Premier League footballer. I get he's a
Oh, no,
utility
the worst
player.
one of the lot is that. Is it Luke Daniel? What's his-
Thomas.
Luke Thomas.
Luke
He
Thomas.
is absolutely ass.
he keeps up Pereira.
He's
Cut the
terrible.
He's a
But the
pig,
fans
isn't he?
like him because he's quite young, isn't he? And he's come through the ranks. He was a left mid or a left, and he plays between the two. I think I think he was a left mid and converted.
Every
to a
time
left
I've
back.
seen him play, he's just getting done over and
Yeah.
over and over again, one on one. But it doesn't even matter whoever the winger is. It could be El Golzi, and he'd still be getting done.
That's a bold play. That's a bold. That's like the worst thing you can say to a left back. That El Ghazi will do you. That is like the worst slander you can give against anyone. So we're saying Leicester for average then.
Average.
Yeah.
Leicester have an average season.
Let's lock it in. Okay, so Man City. Really, where are we ranking them for their Premier League season?
There's no debate for this, sure.
Oh, I think there is.
What? The Premier League winners? There is not a debate.
Yeah.
They've had an unreal season.
I think they've only had a good season.
They've won the league.
It's unreal.
So what's...
I guess if we're only talking about the Premier League,
Yeah.
Yeah.
then yeah, they've had an unreal season. They've won it. But
Oh, in total,
In the grand
yeah.
scheme of things,
Yeah, definitely. But that's why I specified
Okay.
earlier this is the Premier League
Yeah.
list,
Yeah.
because we could
I mean-
throw Palace into unreal for the fact that they did that cup run.
Yeah.
So there's so many different
true.
layers.
Take it back then.
Okay.
It's got to be unreal.
A few. I was about to say.
I agree with you though.
Yeah.
As a whole,
Oh yeah, as a whole, they've not been good enough.
No.
Yeah, on the whole, it's actually been an average season
Yeah.
for them.
They've got only one trophy, which
Absolutely.
isn't good enough for Man City these days.
Thrown away a Champions League semi-final.
Pep out.
Again.
Pep out. That's what I'd have been.
I
calling
love
for.
Pep Guardiola, but yeah, I mean, I think it's very, very much an average season.
It's
Average-
All in all,
No,
100%.
I think it is because Pep Guardiola wins the league. Like that's what
Yeah.
he's expected to
Yeah,
do.
no.
They got his stats up the other day, and it was like obviously between the 3 jobs. I think it was 13 seasons. He's got 11 titles, league
It's outrageous.
titles.
Madness, isn't it?
So he's just expected, and he expects himself to
Yeah.
win that. So to only come away with that, with the squad he's got, is average.
100%.
Oh, Jesus. It just feels. I completely agree with what you're saying, but it just sounds mental.
It does.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm.
Imagine your average season being winning the Premier League.
No,
I've been disappointed by everything else.
I know,
Oh,
I know.
no FA Cup, no Carling
Just
Cup.
do it again, yeah, why not? Ridiculous. But no,
Okay. The next one is going to be fun. Manchester United, where are we ranking? Where are we ranking their season then? Their Premier League season. I'm sorry, it's in the red. Surely, it's dreadful.
it's got to be
There's no
dreadful.
debate.
I've just
It's
decided
the worst
as well.
ever Premier League season.
Worst points.
Statistically,
yeah.
yeah.
Can I just put a shout out? Because I don't want them on this tier list, in this ranking, I'm going to set up a new category, and it's going to be called United, and they're going to be below Burnley and Everton.
No, the Harry
Sam-
Maguire category.
Do you remember when all the United fans tried to tell us that
Yep.
Ralph was so much better than Ollie?
Oh yeah,
Ralph
can
was
we,
clear.
can we look into the camera?
Yeah.
This is
Boys.
hello to everyone that slandered us earlier on in the season.
We're back.
We're back. I tell you now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done a better job than Ralph Rangnick could ever have done.
Yeah.
If Ralph Rangnick did this again 10 more times, he would never compete with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He'd be lucky to lace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's shoes, do up his jacket. He'd be lucky. It's been embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a,
All this great football he's going to bring.
It's a shambles,
been
isn't it?
awful. They nearly got. If West Ham hadn't have bottled it, or Brighton hadn't have stepped up, they'd have made Conference League.
Yeah, I
they
know.
wouldn't have made Europa League.
if that, yeah, exactly.
They lost to Palace
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
final day.
And in
I
fact, you
didn't
got
realise
Ronaldo
that was on the
laughing
line
about
either.
it.
On the last day, I didn't realise West Ham could have gone above United.
Because it's
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
I didn't realise it.
I think it's because the reason why no one was talking about United getting the Europa Conference League is because it's actually quite boring talking about United now because
It
they
is?
just
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
are
it is.
embarrassing as a club and they have been for the whole season and everyone's just got bored of the narrative.
Because the weekend comes and goes. You go to work on the Monday, turn Talk Sport or Radio 5 on it. That was about Man United. It's boring always. Oh,
Yeah.
Another bad weekend for Man
It got to that
United.
point where they were dropping points against teams they shouldn't, and instead of it being a shock, it was just the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was no surprise. Like the final day, there was no surprise at all that Palace beat them.
Yeah.
Like, no one was shocked.
They didn't talk about it on any of the
No.
they just left it. But I didn't hear anything on TalkSport recently because I think everyone's just used to United
Everyone's
now.
just fed up with it, aren't they? It's been they're rubbish. They cack. Let's move on again.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. I think is the word in caps.
In caps.
In caps.
I heard someone call them the Black Eyed Peas the other day. Do you know why?
Why?
It's not been the same since Fergie left.
Oh, brilliant.
That's class. That is. Oh jeez, I've got.
That was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
I thought I'd missed the punchline when he first said it. I was like, wait, where's this going?
Oh, brilliant.
I've gone all hot now. Oh, that's class.
Superb,
That's
so.
going out as a clip as well. That's going to really wind up a lot of people. So we're going to put United now on this tier list. We're going to lock it in, and they're going to be in their own category. I think it because I think Burnley. And
Well, you
Everton
should
have had
just
a
put
better
like
season.
a laughing face underneath dreadful, and that's where United.
Yeah.
belong.
I'm going to
Just what is this?
So to everyone watching now, we are when you see this now, there's going to be a bin on the side, and United will be in that bin. that is where they'll be.
And long may they stay there.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
will do. Ten Hag.
Yeah.
I just want to say already. I'm just calling it now. No chance top 4 next season.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
don't
You said,
nothing.
you said
I think
earlier,
it's-
this is a project.
I
This is a
think-
project to work with.
I think the squad is that like for
Bad.
what he will want. It's so far removed,
I actually think,
and I think
yeah.
the work it'd take to overhaul it to what he would want ideally.
The wrong way, won't they?
That's seasons work,
Yeah.
multiple seasons work.
I think it's going to really help with Pogba leaving.
Yeah.
Pogba is a nightmare in that change room. I think. I'm just
Is
everything you
he?
hear
Is he?
about it.
But I don't know.
You just hear about it. He doesn't try half of the team. Doesn't really help anyone. He does his own thing.
I still think Poch would have been a better appointment because Poch went to
Behave.
I
No,
think he
don't
would.
just about Poch with Joe.
Yeah, sorry,
man.
listeners. Joe has for
The
some
overrated
reason.
PE teacher.
No, but I think he'd have done a great job because Poch did wonders with that Tottenham side with no investment, a really overall a poor squad.
It ended up
Towards the
falling
end.
apart.
No, but you say falling
He
apart.
overachieved.
He overachieved.
100%.
He would overachieve with this United side because
think
there
he
would be
would.
no expectations because the side's awful. Whereas now, Ten Hag's come in, and what's going to happen now is going to do what they've done many times. Van Gaal came in, build a squad for him, doesn't work out. Mourinho
Yeah.
comes in, they build a squad for him, doesn't work. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer build a squad. It's a merry-go-round, and the problems. I just don't. I can't.
Yeah, something toxic there, isn't there?
It's just,
It's still amazing if you notice that. Ronaldo still had a good season.
I know.
Oh, how is it?
Still
18
finished
goals?
Third top goal scorer in Premier.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Great season still for him. At 36.
That's
I
it.
know.
They've had this worst Premier League season ever. They've signed Raphael Varane, who at the
40
start of it, everyone was saying one of the best centre halves in
Yeah.
the world.
Can I just say
World
one
Cup
quick
winner.
moment to everyone? Hello again, everyone. Do you remember my first viral TikTok? Do you remember that? When I didn't say he was a top 10 centre-back? Who's laughing now? Anyway, carry on.
Didn't we also say Ben White would be a better signing than Raphael Varane?
And now I've got that dated and ready to go out.
Fantastic.
I said that in, I think it was July, on the old school people on here, Football Rambling episode. And I said that, and I've even dated it. I also said PSG would win the Champions League in that episode, but I've clipped that part out of it. That'll be going out very soon, actually. Thank you for reminding me. Ben White has been 10 times the player Varane has.
100%.
He still finished the season on the bench though.
Who?
He was
Ben
injured.
White.
He was injured.
He was injured.
He was.
Oh, was he? Oh, I thought he'd been dropped for holding. I thought he'd been dropped for holding. Was like, fair enough, take back.
It's funny that was then, sorry. You just smacked down then, weren't you, by everyone?
It's not-
Sorry. Okay then, so we've locked United into the bin.
Needs a new sound effect for that
Like a
song.
thud or something. Just Okay then, so our next team is Newcastle. And this one again I think could spark a nice interesting debate where we want to put Newcastle. Who wants to go first and go straight in with bold? I've got an idea, but
Can I say average? I think they've had an average season from looking where they'd want to go be at the start of the season.
See, this is where I was sort of-
Mid-table.
Yeah. If you look at the start of the season, where they finished now, roughly where you think they finished.
Yeah.
But from where they were
100%.
to where Eddie Howe's taken
so you're
them.
telling me you looked at that side at the start of the season and thought Jacob Murphy, John Joe Shelby, Callum Wilson and that squad would be a
Edging
mid-table
good.
side. I think it's good.
I think it's good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. For me, like Eddie Howe's been the manager of the season because of what he's done to
I
Newcastle.
mean, he had a
take
big
them up.
£60 million helping, didn't he? But
You had 100 million.
not mid-season, Mom. Not mid-season.
The whole season should finish
That
higher.
makes it harder mid
Yeah.
coming in
Oh, I
January.
don't know. Not when you're bringing in someone like Bruno.
Shut up,
and-
Joe.
The fact that you have to admit he's meant to think Newcastle did finish above the Villa.
What?
You think the first was it
They hadn't won a
first
game.
11, 12, 14, it was 14
Oh,
games.
sorry, yeah,
No
from where they were,
wins.
yeah, absolutely.
14
No, you're
games.
spot on.
Yeah.
You are
They didn't
spot
have a
on.
win.
That's
14.
amazing.
Yeah.
I did check it out earlier.
ridiculous,
Since
really.
Eddie Howe's come in, he's got an average points per game of 1.62.
They're-
If he had that for the whole season, which might even finish 6th.
Really?
That's unbelievable.
What I saw was since Howe's come in, I don't know if it was points gained. They were third.
They've finished the season at 4th, I think.
Really?
In the end.
Unreal.
Which is like,
With Tottenham's resurgence, I
Yeah.
think Tottenham took over them, but they'd have been
Fair
4th
play.
from when he took over.
Yeah.
And we can all say it's really good, like the money they spent. Kieran Trippier was injured.
they've spent it
Yeah.
well.
Spent
Yeah, they have.
really good
And
money.
They have like all,
Chris Wood, you
all,
can question, that's about it.
all,
Look, he's done a good job there.
He
He's
did a
helped
job
them.
for them in the end.
Yeah.
of the
all
year.
of their signings have contributed.
Dan
Yeah.
Burn's been an unbelievable sign, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
He's been superb, hasn't
And Bruno Gomes, how I would
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it, looks like a real player.
he? He does.
Looks
Yeah.
superb.
Well, he's already linked away, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah, I think I read something this morning saying that he's been offered a new contract already.
Really?
Time down, he
Yeah.
signed in Jan.
Brilliant. No, he looks
So he played 10 games.
But he's a serious player. Joe
Yeah.
Linton as well. Arguably
What's happened to him?
Yeah,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
one of the best players this season. He should have been up for player of the season. And I'm really disappointed myself for not shouting.
You're
it.
getting carried away here now.
Yeah, I know. I am.
That's what clickbait that is.
No, that's not even clickbait. I actually do believe that. I said it off camera, and he talked me out of not like I was going to say that on last week's episode, and I got talked out of it, and I really should have stuck with my gut. Like, he was in my team of the season, but Where are we saying then?
Good.
I'll go.
I'm
for
actually
it.
not saying good, yeah.
Yeah,
I've let
I'll
myself
agree
into
with
saying good.
Okay, then I just kept looking at United, then remembering why they're over on the side. Okay, then. Oh yeah, sorry, lock it in. Thank you.
Locked in.
Norwich.
Cack. Bin.
I think they've had an average season by Norwich's standards.
No. Dreadful team, dreadful clubs. Send them away.
They come up. Where do you expect them to finish? 20th.
20th.
Yeah, but you can't have someone who's been relegated as average.
I think they've had an average season.
The fact they got a win is a win for them, really.
Pookie scored a couple of goals. I think it's very average
He actually
season.
scored. He actually ended up scoring quite a few.
Yeah.
He's actually had quite a good season, Pookie.
It's literally a
just think they're
typical
awful.
Norwich season.
Yeah.
I get that point. I can understand where you look at law of averages where it's finished. I sort of understand
20th. Yeah,
average.
absolutely.
I just think they're just so bad of a team.
They are. Pointless. I've said that before. Stop them coming up.
Is there any other clubs you put into that category? Because that was one thing I saw the response to that clip that went out. Is there anybody else you put into that category? They were actually asking you specifically.
Well, to stop them coming up.
So you said Norwich should it's like pointless them coming up. Is there any other clubs that you think is pointless coming up?
No.
Because a couple of names like Watford.
I would argue
Well, maybe
Watford,
Watford, but
and
then
Fulham were also.
I was
mentioned.
thinking Watford, but they actually made a fist of it for a couple of years, didn't they? And they nearly got to Europe and that sort of thing. They were finishing mid-table for a while, so they gave it they gave it a shot. Fulham, yeah, maybe Fulham because they don't go up and stay up anymore, do they? But they have got Premier League pedigree. And
Bournemouth. That's another.
They were there for a couple of years, weren't they? They made a fist of it. Norwich don't. The players they buy are to try and improve them when they go down to the Championship, which I think is pointless.
I've said it before, but their whole structure of the club is they want to be a top 26 side
Yeah.
in the English football, which just means promotion and relegation constantly.
It's just what a ridiculous target. I think as a club, you've got to be aiming to be in the Premier League year in year out once you're up. Has to be.
Small club.
Small club.
Pointless.
So we're going to go average then.
I'd go average.
I'd say split them and go poor.
Do you know what? We can put it in poor for now. Or we put it in put it in the middle of the two, and then depending on the next.
Because really, it's dreadful. Like their season has been dreadful.
That's what I'm saying.
By
Yeah.
Norwich standards, it's average. So should we
Should we
say
go
split
poor?
them and put them in poor?
Law of averages, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
That's mental. To look at that poor category. They're alongside Chelsea.
Villa and Norwich is like category. God.
Okay then. So we're locking in poor. Thank you. I just remembered. Okay, then the next one, Southampton. Where are we ranking their Premier League season? This is a really difficult one for me because at one point they do it every year. They go on runs and then they drop off and then they go on another run. At one point they could have made Europe.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
But they're nowhere near it.
No, I know they didn't. But I'm
And
saying,
I don't know. I'm really getting a bit disheartened by Southampton at the moment because at one point when they had like Lallana and those people, they were making a good go of it and they were giving people games.
They had a great side
And
at the
now
time.
they're almost like the Norwich. Like you know what you're going to get every year. They're not going to go down, but they're a bit pathetic. They're a bit flimsy. They get battered 4 times a season by 5 or more, and I'm just a bit like, what's the point in it? Like you're not trying to progress. You're not trying to advance. They're also just in that they're stuck where they are. And they're quite happy there.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. Sure.
I think they could be in trouble next season.
Especially with the
relegation.
transfer money they've received from sales and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you've got
Well, from
money
Liverpool-
there
from Liverpool.
to go and
Yeah. Yeah.
to go and invest in the squad and buy some quality
Where's all
players.
the money gone?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. who
I'd
knows?
say
Yeah.
poor, but
I'd
again,
go poor.
average. But
See, they finished 15th, and I think last year probably finished somewhere
But if you
similar.
look-
So
But I think
They're
that's
not-
I'd
if you
say an
look,
average
if-
season for
if the
finishing
teams below
15th.
them weren't so bad, like their points tally is pretty bad.
yeah, they're only 5 points off relegation.
Well, that 5 points.
5 points
I think it's a
relegation.
good
What's
season.
total?
40 points.
40. So
They've only just got the magic number.
1 point off Everton.
Yeah.
I think it's poor, nearly dreadful then.
yeah,
I'd say poor because I
Poor.
don't think it's dreadful because they stayed up. I think
Yeah.
it would be.
sorted out.
It's to be a
Southampton.
point off.
Get rid of Ralph
So-
Hasenhüttl as well. I'm sorry, if you're getting beat 6-0 twice a year, he's
Yeah.
not the manager for you.
No, was 9 or something in the end, wasn't it?
He's one of the
Lost,
highest paid managers in the
9-0.
league
Lost
as well.
twice now, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, get rid.
Isn't he in the I'm pretty sure he's in the top 5 highest paid managers. in
Is
the
he?
league as
Is
well.
he?
Yeah, because they took him from
dear.
Leipzig when they got him. He was considered to be
God.
top tier. I'm pretty sure
The
he's on
god.
ridiculous
The
wages.
god.
That's why they stick with him because I'm pretty sure I've read that they can't afford to get rid of him because he's on big money. Okay, then next we'll lock him in poor. I keep forgetting every time. The next one then Tottenham. Where do we want to put Tottenham?
Gotta be unreal.
I'd say it's probably an unreal season for them. Yeah.
From where they were to where they are, finishing fourth. Conte's an unbelievable job.
Yeah.
Unbelievable business as well.
But then
I would have
for
said
me,
good, but
I'm more towards good because realistically, top 4 is expected when you've got Kane and Son.
I don't think it is.
But it
Because the
wasn't
rest
with
of the
that team
players
at the start
around
of the
them.
season. Doherty, Dyer, Ben Davies.
But you've got
Yeah.
Kane and
They were
Son.
starting
but
Oliver Skip.
But look at Kane and Son, and look at everyone below, bar like United probably.
They've
Those
not-
two individuals are on another level.
They are. They're two world-class footballers.
Yeah, but, tell us two out though. It's a mid-table side.
Yeah.
Is it like Kulusevski's been amazing?
But again, that was a January signing. So
January
for the start of the
signing,
season, you wouldn't be thinking.
And he's
you've got
completed
him.
that front three and made them, really feared. To be fair.
Yeah.
But it's just behind that, I mean, all the players don't get that excited about, do you?
No, exactly.
But have they? Overall, though, if you look at it not from how the season's gone, if you look at it, step back and look at their position, 4th is expected. Surely you must think that.
At least
When you look at their
challenging, yeah.
squad, is 4th any better than
And-
realistically you thought?
Yeah, you say Conte's done a fantastic job, but Conte's probably at least one of the top 10, if not pushing top 5 managers in the world.
I'd say top 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
I think he's brilliant.
you'd like to think if he's got Kane and Son, and you've got Antonio Conte, and he's brought 2 January signings in, that he's able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because really, all he's had to compete with is a young Arsenal side.
Yeah.
And if Arsenal had carried on the form they showed...
I'm just trying to wind Michael if I'm being really honest. And I just think Arsenal have been good, so therefore Spurs finished above Arsenal. It's got to be unreal.
But then, I don't think you can put Spurs saying they've had an unreal season because they finished 4th. And really, if they had an unreal season, I think they'd have been knocked off Chelsea.
Yeah, true. They probably have an unreal finish to the season to
I
get
think-
that 4th
Yeah.
spot, but it's
Yeah.
overall a good season.
You look at
It's got to
Chelsea,
be at least good, hasn't it?
Yeah.
because when you compare them to Chelsea in 3rd, and you Chelsea and Spurs 2 sides, Tottenham have more world class players than Chelsea do.
Probably do.
I think overall as a
Yeah.
squad, I don't think they're actually that far off each other. 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't think the Chelsea squad is actually very good.
They've got a lot of good, well, I said very good players at Chelsea.
Yeah.
But
But
they've got
no world class.
Whereas Tottenham have 2,
Yeah.
arguably the 2 in the top 10 best players on the planet.
Yeah.
So really, I think they've achieved what should be expected from them. I think it's because Nuno did such a poor job at the start of the season that we all
How
think
bad was
they've
that, by the way?
overachieved. Yeah,
How bad was that?
What a strange appointment, though.
It was about
Yeah,
eight,
it
it
was
was
a
eight
bit
choice,
weird.
wasn't it? It was about,
I
wasn't
assume manager just didn't say no, I don't want to go there.
Yes.
For good reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Conte turned down, didn't he, at the
yeah,
time?
he
Yeah.
turned them down, and they probably just upped the fee. Where, I'm going to step back anyway. Where do you guys want it? I'll put it wherever.
It's got to be at least
point.
good.
I think good.
I've argued my point. Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so.
Lock it in.
I'll lock it in then. Spurs have had a good season. Okay then, Watford.
Dreadful.
Dreadful.
Yeah, dreadful.
3 managers.
Yeah, Ranieri, Hodgson.
Yeah.
And
3
the
managers.
Georgian bloke at the start of the
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
When they beat us.
Mendes.
I don't know what his name was.
I don't even know what it looks
Wasn't
like.
he the first Georgian manager, I think. I'm sure he was from
In
Georgia.
the Prem, yeah, he was
Had
Georgian.
spiky black hair, didn't he?
Yeah, because he Cisco Muniz.
Yes.
Because
I don't even recognise the name.
yeah, because I think I'm pretty sure his points per game they would have been. I think where he was with them, I'm pretty sure they would have stayed up. I think I've
Probably.
read something like that.
Doesn't surprise me.
Because I don't
that
think
sounds very Watford.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ranieri was an awful appointment.
No.
He's not done well since the Leicester job.
No.
No, it was just a fluke, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was.
Everything fell into place. And we've said it before. We're all glad that Watford got relegated. Unless they
Yeah.
this should be a sign. I know it won't be. Just change the philosophy of the club and the
Yes,
way
yeah,
everything is done.
though, isn't it?
Decisions.
But they won't. They won't.
But they need to because this is just in plain sight
Well, it's a bit of entertainment.
for the neutral. not
Yeah, for the neutral,
fan.
yeah.
Fans can't be.
And the
happy
fans
with
must,
it.
and the players must hate it as
They
well.
must do, yeah.
Because they're all just going to be
Well,
shipped
the
off now
player
to
turnover-
Udinese. They're just
the
going to go
player
back to
turnover is
Udinese.
huge, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, they'll just go over to Udinese now and they'll be fine. Because
Yeah.
it's just a loan back from the 2. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Okay, and let's move on to West Ham. Where would you like to put West Ham?
In the end, good.
I'd probably go good.
It's got to be good for me, yeah.
Yeah.
They've done really well.
Finishing
They've also done
With,
really well in
with
Europe.
Europa League campaign
Yeah.
as well.
Going as
Yeah.
far as they did.
They've maintained where they finished last year as well.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
But with added games, I think the team's improved
Yeah,
overall.
They need to
Um,
invest though.
they do heavily.
Yeah. Striker.
Desperate for a striker, maybe 2.
Just general quality. Like you've
Yeah.
still got Craig Dawson, who's obviously been very good this season, but you need back up to him.
Ballon Dawson to you.
To be fair, you look at that four centre halves. You've got Ogbonna, Zuma, Dawson, and there's another one which I can't remember top of my head. Diop.
Yeah, it's a Diop, yeah.
They're pretty good centre backs, you know.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're all right, but they're probably at the limit of where they could be.
Yeah, exactly. To compete, if you want to go and get that top six again now,
but then
you need to improve.
Whereas I think other places,
whereas I think the midfield two, Soucek and Rice, that is one of the best midfield twos in the Premier League. That can go higher, absolutely.
I think Rice is off though this summer.
Do you reckon?
I think he's gone.
They offered him an 8-year contract, didn't they, West Ham?
Yeah.
And he still hasn't. He hasn't signed it.
No, he
has
rejected.
No, he'd be stupid to.
So reject, has he?
Yeah.
I think he's off this summer.
I do too.
For Chelsea.
Chelsea can't buy him.
Well,
at the moment.
If you've got the takeover goes through them, maybe then. But
I don't know who's paying 150 mil.
I don't think. I think they'll accept
Well,
a smaller offer.
yeah.
Surely,
You'd imagine so.
I think it'd be 100 mil.
because it's Moyes who said that rather than
Yeah.
the actual board itself. We can get the last one in. We'll get the last one in. It'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
The final one. Si, where do you want to put the Wolves?
The mighty Wolves should still have a being good season.
Good.
Yeah.
Absolutely no chance.
No, compared to where we were last year.
No. Get out.
You're saying that because the last 6-7 weeks we've been terrible, we've been awful past few weeks. We've been on the beach for ages and it's been shocking. But where we were from last season, and you two have shouted at me start of the season saying, you're being relegated. We've not been relegated.
No.
We've finished mid-table.
Okay,
top half.
I think
it's a poor season.
I'd say average. First half of the season, good. I'd say second half of the season, dreadful.
But when you think that
not a whole second half, because we got January and February were good months. Then after that, we've been shocking.
I think the fact that Newcastle, who didn't win for their first 14 games of the league, were 2 points off you. How on earth we can even discuss the fact that Wolves have had a good
we
season?
didn't win the last 14 though, you're saying?
Overall as a season, I just think you
I think there's been clear improvement.
I think it
for
was
us.
been improvement.
Clear improvement.
I think
I
you
also
might be more
position.
average.
I think it was a missed opportunity from
Yeah.
the position you were in.
Oh, I completely agree with you. Don't get me wrong. We should have
you
got
could
Europe.
have been in Europe. Yeah.
And West Ham were dropping points as well. We should have overtaken them. Maybe
But
Man
even
United.
like Conference
But-
League would be big for Wolves.
Oh, huge for
And
us.
you've had multiple opportunities to
Yeah.
grind it out and just haven't.
Oh, I completely agree that we have had a massive missed opportunity. We should be in Europe, in my opinion.
100%.
And it's been a damp squid end of the season. It really has been. But
Yeah.
as a season as a whole, from where we started to where we finished, it's clear improvement for me. It's clear improvement.
Bottle jobs.
A little bit at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we've improved, as I say. I think that's a good season
It's
for
a
us.
big summer for you, isn't it?
I'd say
People thought
average.
we'd finish 14th, 15th.
Okay, then, so the Wolves, where we can whack them in average just for this very moment,
If Si thinks good,
you
Joe
want
thinks
good-
poor, I say average.
and I say average.
It's average.
Or do you actually think poor?
I do, but I'll agree with average.
So, okay, then, you'll like this then, Si. So we've locked it in now,
Okay.
and these guys don't know it yet, but everyone gets one team they can change. We take it in turns. If we go from whoever wants to go first, everyone's allowed to change one team and
One
allowed to
team in
move
that.
them to wherever they believe. And it has to be, like, you can't just put Man City in dreadful. One that you actually believe should be moved. Because obviously we can just belittle something if you go, West Ham have had a dreadful season. If there's anyone there you believe should be changed. Because there's obviously a couple that you might have argued. I know where Si will go straight away, so...
So I'll go last then.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
If there's anyone you can...
We'll go from right to left, shall we?
But then actually...
No, I don't know,
Can I
so
change it?
if
Can I
you've
change
got
one thing?
yours-
Sorry. You can't change your own team, because I know Joe will do the Villa then.
No.
You'll do Arsenal. And I know what will happen. Yeah, you can't do your own teams. You can't touch your own teams.
No, the Villa can stay where they are.
So if you've got one, you go, because I need to think.
I'll go Leeds. I think Leeds have had a poor season rather than average.
So you want to move Leeds?
Yeah,
So we're moving Leeds down to poor. And we'll lock that in then. So that's locked in. But someone can move that back. You can do whatever. I just thought you'd just spice it up just at the end.
even with obviously they've had the injuries, but at the start of the season you wouldn't be thinking survival last day of the season as a Leeds fan. So I'd go poor.
I'm still saying Liverpool's only good because I haven't won the title.
So you want to move Liverpool down to good?
Yeah, I do, yeah. But if it's just Premier League and they've not won the title...
Okay, we'll lock it in. So it just adds a little bit extra now.
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody there that's... It's really. I heard it. I saw it off another podcast and thought I've got to do this at the end just because it just throws a little spanner in the works. And it's got to be a good decision. There's definitely somebody in your mind now that you can see there. Just say it. Say it with chest.
Joint United in the gutter rather than in the bin.
Yeah. United just not even on the screen. Can they go further, or is the bin lock off?
I think the bin is you can't get
landfill.
Landfill. Okay, yeah, we'll just change the image. But
Okay. It's really tough. Just because they rattled me recently, put Southampton in dreadful. I'm just a bit fed up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. What are you doing? Sort it out.
Yeah.
I think, oh jeez. Now I'm
Well,
looking.
BHS.
I can't believe I didn't even think my own answer. I was more going, I wonder what those are going to do. Oh, I think it's quite a difficult one. I am going to go and put. Don't look at me like that. Don't worry, I'm not touching the Wolves. I saw you look at me
I
there.
was tempted just to do Wolves for the reaction.
I am going to put West Ham in average.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's tough on Moisey.
I still think
It is.
But I still think there's an opportunity there this season.
7th.
Yeah.
No, 8th. 8th was
No,
it?
it was
7th.
I thought United finished in 7th.
6th.
United was 6th.
West Ham 7th.
7th and then
Oh,
Europa
okay.
League
Ignore me then.
semi-final.
Ignore me
How
then.
bad is it?
Ignore me then. I thought they finished 8th.
No, 7th.
Oh, Leicester did. Okay.
Let's finish 8th.
Oh, this is actually really difficult.
Get Wolves down.
Get
Wolves down.
Get them down.
No. I am going to go and put Chelsea in dreadful. I think when you look at the squad, I think really they should have done a lot better than they have done.
I think you could argue it, yeah.
I think dreadful, and I think that's quite an interesting list. I'm pretty pleased with that. Overall, I know Si's still seething with the fact Wolves are in average, but I think they're
Go on inside.
Literally, the league position is telling you where you are. You're 10th.
Well, yes.
You're there
Why
for-
Norwich poor, not dreadful then?
Because
If you use that same logic.
that's what we,
I'm using your logic right now.
because that's what we expect from Norwich.
So
You were
overall-
expecting Champions League at one point in the season,
Yeah.
or so your narrative was.
I think times have changed. So are you. So are you. So are Arsenal.
But we're not Wolves.
Here we go. Bottle jobs.
do you know what? I was expecting a lot more of that throughout this episode. The fact it's come at the end, it's quite sad, isn't it?
Is that what we've had to sit in the middle of?
Yeah, just in case. I don't fancy a black eye though, thanks. But overall, then I think that's completely locked in. We'll put this out on all socials everywhere. So we've got in Unreal, Brighton, Brentford, and Man City. In Good, Arsenal, Palace, Newcastle, Spurs, West Ham, and Liverpool. Average, Leicester and the Wolves. And Poor, Villa, Norwich, and Leeds. Sorry, I can't believe I just said Norwich in I nearly put them up to average, and then in dreadful we've got Burnley, Everton, Watford, Southampton and Chelsea, and then in the bin, in the gutter, whatever you want to say, United on the side, on their own, where they deserve to be. Okay,
Let them rot.
The black eyed peas.
that was brilliant. Honestly, that might be the best thing I've heard. I'm going to repeat that to everyone, and I will have that joke out on all my socials before this episode goes out. So it looks like you stole it. But no, as we always say at the end of the podcast, guys, leave us a review if you've enjoyed the episode. If you haven't, don't leave us a review. Check out everyone's socials. The links to them will all be in the description below. Check out Mike's Football Shirt Shop. That will be in the description. Check out Surprise Shirts. I forgot to give them a shout out at the start, but check them out. Use the code BHS for 10% off for some absolute banging mystery shirt boxes. Jeez, that was difficult. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this one.
That's good. Nice to have all four of us.
It's been a pleasure, fellas.
Hopefully it'll be more of all four of us. I'll just keep the windows open, maybe invest in a silent fan. But no, thanks for listening, guys. Book out Sam. Over and out, baby.